Hey fast fellas, SpeeDMan here. Welcome to this episode of Let's Play Victoria Age of Steam. So, our goal here is to really dial in with this ability here, so the 10% production in cities for every industrial zone building, and then the additional production for strategic resources. What we're going to do is prioritize a few things. First, we absolutely need to make sure that we get the Venetian Arsenal. That is a must-have wonder for a naval domination victory. There we go, and just like that, we fulfilled the era score requirement, so we've got ourselves a perfect setup for a golden age here. Isaac Newton is super massive. We've also got ourselves a really good position here. We also have an aqueduct ready to go.
The taxpayer.
Excellent. So colonialism is right here. Fishing boats provide an extra production, and it's going to be a while until we get there, but that is going to be a massive boost for us, so that's something we do want to work towards. It's going to take time, but we could definitely utilize it. We've got a golden age. So, what we want to do is now work on getting lots of era score this era, so that way we can get a minimum, a nice normal age, so we're going to be in a good spot. Let's go for a monumentality golden age. I feel like that's going to be the most suitable for us at this stage. And the reason I say that is I would rather be able to get access to more of these eventual cities. Because see, that's going to cost us a good bit, but being able to get another trader pretty cheaply is going to be really good. Faith buying builders is also a nice option, even though we can honestly just buy them with gold because it's going to be cheaper for us to do so. And this is only 900 gold. This we can get pretty quickly. So we can honestly use the gold for that to basically just start mass producing settlers out of the city. Let's go ahead and also pick ourselves up a nice industry. That is going to boost up our positioning a little bit more in the city, so the city is going to really start to grow. Once we have that lighthouse down pat, that's going to give us a couple more housing, and it's also going to open up a lot more food growth. We're going to see that our food growth is really going to start exploding in this particular city, so watch out for Bristol. We got another envoy as well, so Kabul, because we got that done, that's going to be good. So anytime we are trying to produce units, that will eventually start to give us much more benefit as we get to that position. Let's also now at this point start working our way around, just checking out this part of the map. We have lots of openings here in this stage of the game that we could utilize. We also need to try to work on getting lots of era score. Let's bring you back now. It's a perfect opportunity to bring you back into Sheffield, so that way by the time the settler gets done, we will not have to worry about losing population in that city. We can continue getting the city set up for long-term growth. And we are making definite headway there. We can honestly work on food growth. I'd rather get that population faster. Faster population means earlier placement for those really, really important industrial zones. That is going to give us a massive advantage compared to the AI. We have to double down on that. There's industrialization. So let's see. Coal? Yes. Coal? Yes. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Okay. I'll take those. Oh boy. Our yields are going to start popping off. We're already at 73 production, right? So I buy that factory, 83 production. So just like that, we're already starting to pop off. But that also means our other cities here are going to actually start getting more and more value. So we can see like 35 production. But it's going to get better because these other cities are going to really start to pop off in growth. And that's going to be really the crazy part. We're going to see like a massive growth spurt coming up. I kind of want to look for some like really, really high, high gold in science. That fits the bill. That fits the bill. I love that becomes so much better.
Betwixt the stirrup and...
That's not too bad at all, dude. Another 3 era score. We are on the cusp. We're on the cusp of getting a super good era here. I'm gonna let that naturally finish. And then I could probably, honestly, I could probably do 1 charge into Taj Mahal, let that naturally finish. And then I'll just have another charge available for some other wonder that I could work on in the long term. Probably Ruhr Valley. I think, honestly, that would be a good idea. So Ruhr Valley, we're going to save up our gold here and pick up a bunch of stuff that we're going to need. Buy that tile because we're going to need it. What we're going to do, basically, is we are going to start actually making preparations for that. So that'll be super, super huge. Once we get this built, that's going to be a really good industrial zone for us as well. Let's actually go back and get this, where is it? A lighthouse done. That'll actually open up a little bit more housing for us in the long term. And then what we could do is we can go back and do that workshop. Really start just power scaling our... I feel like that's what's happening here. We're just basically power scaling our freaking production. 145 production. Wow. That's pretty good. Let's see here. We're at 9 population. That'll be a 4-4. This will open up another trade route for us. So we can definitely do that. Again, just focusing on getting lots of trade routes. Again, the more of these trade routes that we can pick up, the easier it's going to be, because then we can get banking soon, and then we can really level up with our gold yield, really just start producing tons of gold, being in a good spot there. This is a safe island. That's good. This is a good island, too. That'll be good for building production. Oh, that's gone. Dude, if I had met that, that could have been really good. Let's send that back to somewhere else, honestly. We have tons... Man, we have so many... we have so many trade routes available, so we have a really good option to start using some of our faith now in the last couple turns, and just basically... Yeah, we could just buy a few of these traders, because then we'll just have permanent traders available to us, and which will, of course, help scale up our economy just a little bit more. So, good things for us to do. We do have 1 turn until the next era. Now, I'm going to play it safe and go for some other stuff for a singular turn. That way, we don't need to worry about potentially kind of overdoing it with regards to our era score.
The Commonwealth
There's
of
Venetian
Venice in
Arsenal.
their armory.
Oh man, that's so
this
perfect.
inscription.
That is perfect. That's yet another wonder. We are definitely making inroads towards another golden age. We're going to need 154 for a golden age, so that's going to be a little bit of work, but we can definitely get there. Now, basically, what that means is now with Venetian Arsenal, we can just mass produce all sorts of naval units and be really, really quick on the uptake there. We can go ahead and honestly level up our culture outputs as well, so I think that would honestly be pretty solid for us. I'd like us to get some more culture. Just getting more and more culture and more science is going to be really strong. That's going to give us a massive boost to tempo in the long term, so let's go for that. I'm going to go for a granary just to get a little bit more housing and also a little bit more food production. You are quite limited there. And at this point, really what we could do is you could utilize Divine Right to be basically mass producing a lot of walls, but it's not a super major priority at the moment. But something we'll work on this era, for sure, but it's not something we're going to need to worry about, per se. Let's settle up here. That's perfect. And then what we want to do is we want to go ahead and settle up here. So, take that position back. What we want to do is go here. We want to do a chop there. Let's do that. That's going to bring us up to another food. More importantly, though, what it's going to do is allow us to get set up here with our Royal Navy Dockyard. Good way to get started in the city. It's a very small little city, but it'll be a good city for us to get started with. 20 turns out from getting Ruhr Valley, potentially. That, honestly, is going to be a really, really critical wonder for us, though. So I do want to try to see if we can try to get that. It's going to open up a little bit more production possibilities. Yes, Leeds is a smaller city, but by getting Ruhr Valley, we can snowball that city, so we have another city that's just high production as well. I mean, the fact is that Sheffield is well over 100. Same thing here with the capital here, 150 production. So it's really solid. We have a pretty good build that we can continue working with. Now, what we're going to want to do is start really heavily channeling into getting more and more gold production. The more we keep channeling into that, the better we'll be kind of set up for the next era. We're 14 era score away from getting a normal age, so that's perfect. In a position like that, what we could do is, honestly, we have one extra charge here and one extra charge. Let's actually bring that charge here. We'll make a pasture here so we can build Great Zimbabwe. That'll be a pretty good wonder for us. That'll be a nice way for us to get a little additional bonuses. So we can see here an extra trade route capacity. And then from the city, 2 gold for every bonus resource within 3 tiles of the city and the city's territory. That's not bad. 5 gold and 2 extra great merchant points. Yeah, definitely good. So let's chop that. It's going to get us a little bit more population as well. All these tiles here are going to eventually be much better once we develop them. It's just not going to be for a little while. (11 out of 19). So we can honestly just continue working on getting more. At this point, we might as well. I mean, it's not going to hurt us. We're going to be getting Casa de Contratación, so that's good. In about 4 turns, is it? 4 turns, yeah. So we'll be getting 3 more governor titles, which pretty much plays exactly into what we need. I am going to need to wait a few more turns until we can place down a very nice industrial zone here so we can get that set up. Once we have that, though, that industrial zone will provide us a pretty good benefit, so that'll be great. Actually, that being said, we should... we got plenty of housing, so we can actually get started on the shipyard here. That got done. Perfect. We can go into that. Well, actually, we will just simply hard build that, and then we will just buy a university outright. Now, to place down that +3. That's only going to take 4 turns. See, the thing is that because of this, our infrastructure is super easy to maintain here. We're able to get a lot of these cities up and running very quickly, which does provide us a pretty hefty amount of benefit. So we'll do that. We're going to cancel that out so that way Gilgamesh cannot get access to that. Let's see here. Governor title. Doctrination's not a bad one. Gives us more spies, more loyalty, and amenities when we have spies. Not a problem. What I would like, though, is the wildcard slot, though. So that is going to be a good one. More wildcard slots means more options. More options means more viability for us, more things we could do, and more growth that we can kind of pick up and go into. So that's something like, see right there, 47 gold per turn. That's a really, really good one. That's going to give us a nice 50 gold boost. That's solid. Again, just channeling into those specific things for us to grow into is going to be a way for us to really maintain that tempo. And campus research grants are done. That's perfect. We can honestly, let's see. Actually, let's do a stock exchange. That way, because that's powered, we can actually get utility from that. We can get an additional 11 gold per turn, so that's even better. Ancient walls. And then we'll just do, we'll do campus research grants. Yeah, just keep building, you know, basically more and more of a navy. We'll see that by the end of all this, we're going to have a very large, and I mean a very large amount of frigates available to promote. We're going to get them all eventually built into armadas once we have mobilization later on. And then we're just going to be in a really, really good spot. We could get tons of damage output done. We could definitely take the cities down with all these normal walls. Actually, no, he's got steel. So steel is going to take a little work to get done. But if we just surround a city, we could basically end up bringing walls down like extremely quickly. So it's not that big of a threat. routes to Uruk. This is so ridiculous. Wait, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 520 gold per turn just from trading with him. That's ridiculous. That's so much gold. I'm running out of cities to send him trade routes. Oh, that's hilarious, dude. Oh, that's funny. Whew. That almost kills me. That could almost kill me. That's so funny. That could be a big play there is resource management. So we may continue on that tree and go for that aluminum. Oh, sweet. That actually is not bad. We're gonna potentially need that. Yes, please. Need that. Okay, cool. So I'll definitely take that. That's very nice. Look at all these coastal tiles, dude. Those are great. Those are great. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see here that we're going to start really amping up our focus here for these flood barriers. They're going to be very quick to build in most of these places, but because they're going to be quick to build, we're not going to have to worry too much about tempo loss. And plus, once we built them fully, no matter what phase of global climate change occurs after that, we will always have that fill in from that point. It will always be protected. And that's why we want to make sure that we get that done early. The easier it'll be if we get this done early. We're definitely going to try to emphasize focus on Big Ben. Same thing here. In a city like this, we can go ahead and get Zimbabwe, or Great Zimbabwe, finished up. Get ourselves another trade route, and also some nice little bonuses as well. Port Steam, definitely not a bad option. Reform the coinage, an even better option. So that is extremely, extremely beneficial from a standpoint of how much it's going to produce for us. And for the record, no, I'm not really trying to go into a phase of the game where I just spam giant death robots. They're very easy to use, and I kind of want more of a challenge for a naval domination game, even though they're fantastic units, of course. It's just I don't really feel like that's going to be the right decision. And we're just basically going to get 3 more of these up and running, so that way we could just bring in 6 more of these units to create 3 armadas. It'll just be a nice way for us to kind of build that up. 3 cores. Ah, it doesn't count fleets. Oh, I just realized that's unfortunate. 3 cores. There we go. So we cannot build any more of these, so we are completely maxed out. That's actually really crazy, though. Think about the fact that we have 5 of these placed into one city. Well, that's so much science, dude. Holy crap. Well, we're basically completely unable to build anymore. Yeah, you can see here, maximum amount of products reached for that resource. We do have a really large amount of coal, so in positioning like this, what we could do is we can now begin to upgrade our units into full-scale battleships. As we will see very soon here, why? Well, we're in a position where basically we're about to pop off with our military now. And we've got a super large setup here that in a few turns here, they're going to be getting finished up with the final setup. Okay, now we can go into ideology. Ideology is the card that we've been looking for. And then what we're going to do in a position like this with so many large levels of yields, I think fascism is going to be the play. The extra 5 combat strength. War weariness definitely will help us kind of like, if we can reduce that, that will definitely help. The 50% production towards units, if we need to completely just go overcharging into another larger scale military, we can. This has definitely been a fantastic episode. We have we have exploded in value. I mean, we are well over 500 science per turn. We are 1,400 gold per turn and 33,535 gold. Over 20 trade routes available. I mean, we got tons of resources ready to go. We are popping off, and we are so ready to get started with this war next episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, please hit that like button and subscribe. This definitely has been a lot of fun doing this series, and I want to keep providing you guys with more and more fun content. Once again, thank you so much for watching. SpeeDMan out.